Welcome everyone to our mini English lessons with TAFE Queensland. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you are all keeping safe and well. Just for your information, we are recording this session. My name is Jonas Taragano. I am the in-country manager for Brazil at TAFE Queensland International. TAFE Queensland is a government institution with 140 years of experience in the education industry in Australia. Today's session is English for academic purposes with a focus on summarizing and reading. We are with Rocco, one of our teachers at TAFE Queensland. There will be a 20-minute lesson, then 5-minute information session, and 5 minutes at the end for questions and answers. All attendees are muted, so please keep the microphone off during the session. Any questions or answers can be written in the chat box. Enjoy the session. Over to you, Rocco.
Hello, Jonas, and welcome everybody to our mini lesson for today. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are around the world. So yes, we're continuing with English for academic purposes today, or if you like, EAP for short. Focus on reading and summarizing ideas, because remember that when you're doing a lot of academic reading, you don't want to copy everything. You need to prioritize and look at or target particular ideas in reading. So we're going to have a look at that today. So a quick look at our plans, our goals for this session. Look at trying to locate main ideas in paragraphs. Look at paragraph components. And looking at paragraph components can help you to summarize the main ideas, because you'll know what information to focus on and what information to ignore. So then we'll look at a bit of that. Well, okay, let's have a look at the first part. I'm going to show you a sample paragraph. And in the sample paragraph, see if you can see a contrasting word. So here's the paragraph. So this talks about agriculture in Australia. It's just a paragraph, not the whole article, of course. So there are many farmers in Australia. They struggle to make ends meet. That means they have difficulty to pay their bills. Many challenges, battles with the elements of nature. So that means all the difficulties of nature. Drought when there's no rain, flooding, too much rain. These are just some examples. Financial concerns. The mounting cost of farm operations. And mounting means increasing. Now, modern farmers, like in the eastern states of Australia, have integrated or joined together much more new technology in their production process. Recent statistics show their profitability. They're making money in niche market produce. So niche is some kind of specialization. Produce is maybe the crops or the fruit and vegetables that they grow. So that's the paragraph. Can you see a contrasting word? It's just one word in this paragraph. Can you see it? If you can see it, go to the chat box and just let me know. What do you think is the contrasting word in this paragraph? Okay, good. Got some votes already. A few more votes will be nice. It's just the one word, actually. It shows contrast. A word kind of like however or but. Does anyone see it? Okay, let's have a look. Ah, excellent. Well done, Catalina. And Nadine, very good. Station, well done. Thank you. Sadia, well done. Dana, well done. Excellent. You've all picked it. Yes, Maria, that's right. Fantastic. So it's the word despite. Good. So that's always a good thing to establish when you're reading through a passage. highlight these contrasting words like but, although, however, despite, even words like now, because then maybe you're contrasting with the past and things like that. Good. Thank you, Alejandro. Now, I've got another question for you. Now that we've located that, look at the question at the top. Do you think the main idea of the paragraph is before or after this contrasting word? Of course, the whole paragraph is important, but where should you focus for the main argument or the main point? Is it before this word despite or after? Let me know. What do you think, guys? Go to the chat box. Before or after? What do you think? Excellent. Got a few votes already. Wow. A lot of votes. A couple more. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, a big mix of answers. Some people say before, some people say after. But Aura, I think you've on the right track. Well done, Maria and Catalina and Laura. Excellent. Jessica, yes, I think you're right there. And Nadine, yes. Excellent, guys. So I think there's a bit of a mix, but really the main point comes after the contrasting word, not before. That's because the first part is like a concession. The word concession means it's something that you accept on the opposite side of what you think. And quite often, we put that first. We put the concession first, and then we say, however, or but. You know, when you're arguing with a friend, you'll say to your friend, I understand what you mean, but. It's true, Sydney has a lot of job opportunities, but Brisbane is a better place to work because the environment is more friendly and more supportive compared to Sydney. So I started with something positive about Sydney, but then I said my thing first. So the main idea comes after. And you can see here, yes, farmers have had problems. And that's what the first part talks about. They have had problems. But modern farmers, they've integrated technology in their production. And because of that, they've actually made money in niche markets. Sure, they had many problems, but the ones that have integrated the new technology, they've actually become profitable. Okay, so let's just sum up the main idea for this particular paragraph. What is the main idea? Do you think it's, number one, is the main idea about how hard life is for farmers in Australia? Number two, a positive outcome from innovation. Number three, the economic impact of natural disasters. Or number four, technological promotions to help farmers. Which do you think is the main idea of this paragraph? So careful, you'll probably see that all of these four things are mentioned. What's the main point? Good, good. People are voting already. Fantastic. Go to the chat box, guys. Let me know what you think. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, got lots of votes. Let's see what people are thinking. Oh, a bit of a mixed response. It looks like it's a combination between 2 and 4. Let's see. Well done, Tatiana. Excellent. Who else? Oh, a lot of people have gone before. Well done, Astrid. Thank you. Elizabeth, very good. Jessica, well done. Hannah, well done. Excellent. Daniela, very good. So, interesting. A lot of you have not chosen 1 and 3. Well, let's have a think about this. They do talk about these things. They do talk about technology in number 4. Do they talk about promotions? So they do mention technology. They do say that technology has helped farmers, but they don't talk about promotions. That's not quite the right thing. So the farmers have integrated it. It hasn't been promoted. It doesn't mention anything about promotion. So number 4 is out. Now, in the case of number 1, they do mention the hard life of agriculturalists, but that's mentioned in the concession. It's not mentioned after the word despite, it's mentioned before. And the same with number 3. They do mention the economic impact of natural disasters. It's mentioned beforehand, before the word despite. It's part of the concession. So the main point is a positive outcome from innovation. Innovation talks about using new technology. Positive outcome, they've actually become profitable. So probably the second one is the best fit because it happens after the word despite. It includes all these things. Okay, well done. Let's have a look at particular aspects of a paragraph, because sometimes when we're reading through a paragraph, we need to also identify different parts and different aspects. What's your question there, Alejandro? There are different aspects of a paragraph, and sometimes you'll see these different things. You might see an example somewhere. Sometimes there might be a concession, like we've had before. A topic sentence. There might be a consequence. There might be an extension of the main idea, and also a loop or a summary sentence. Which of the following would you expect in the first half? The first half of the paragraph. So think about what you'd expect at the beginning and what you would expect in the second half. But here, I just want you to think about what to expect in the first half. Would you expect an example in the first half, or a concession, or is a concession in the second half? Now, we've spoken about concessions. The topic sentence, is that in the first half, second half? The consequence, first half, second half. Extension of the main idea, first half, second half. A loop and summary, would you expect that at the beginning or at the end? What do you think? I think maybe there are about 3 of these. See if you can identify 3 that you'd expect in the first half. Wow, I've got lots of votes. Oh, a few people have been trouble with, yes, Anna, that's right. I would include that one, but there might be 2 more, Anna. Yes, Illyria, that's right, but probably 2 more. Yes, Sehyun, of course, but I think 2 more. Well done, Maria, yes, but probably 2 more. So I think there should be about 3 guys, 3 of them. Laura. Probably both of them, I think. Yes, Carlos, I think both would work. Maybe, Tatiana, one of those could be at the second half, one of your ones. Okay, look, a good mix. Khan, well done. And Thelma, well done. I think you've probably got the right idea there. Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, so let's have a think about these. A concession is definitely better at the beginning of the paragraph. And that's what, it's more of a logical thing to start with the concession first and then shift to your position. But that's not to say that the writer of an article is always going to have a concession in a paragraph. If they do have a concession, it's normally at the beginning. What else? A topic sentence. Now, topic sentence is different to a loop or a summary sentence. A summary is more the last part of the paragraph. The topic sentence is the main theme or the main idea, and we normally put this at the start. So look out for that. So the main idea or the main topic is mentioned there, sometimes before the concession, sometimes after, and an extension of the main idea. Examples, maybe more towards the end of the paragraph, the second half. Examples tend to support the main ideas. A consequence is an extension. It's like an extension of the main idea, a consequence, but it explores things like what happens on the contrary, or what happens if you do. This is more, a consequence is more speculation. Speculation is more towards the second half of the sentence, and the loop is at the end. Not always, but sometimes it can be there. So these are components that you can find in a paragraph, but doesn't mean that you'll find them in every paragraph. Okay, so let's have a look at a sample now. So this is a kind of a typical order: topic, sentence, concession, or an extension of the main idea, or sometimes both, a consequence. And examples and loops tend to be at the end. Now, this is more of a deductive style. Imagine a triangle. You start with the main idea and you expand. In some cultures, they use an inductive style. And this is kind of reversed, where they begin with the example and then they reach the main point at the end. And the example is used to demonstrate. The problem with inductive style, where the example dominates and the main point is at the end, it's harder for the reader to follow the logic. So in a lot of Western cultures, you'll probably find a deductive style, the main point first, and then there's expansion that way. Okay, so topic, sentence. This is maybe at the beginning of the paragraph. This is a different topic now. It talks about retirement age. Should we extend it or reduce or make it earlier? At the moment, it's maybe, it could be 65, for example, making it earlier, making it 60. So this is an article about not having an early retirement age. The first reason to oppose this argument, oppose means you reject it, is the monetary burden. Monetary is about money. Burden is the pressure on the state, which means the government, would be eased, reduced, if people have a longer career span. So the longer we work, it's probably saying it will reduce the pressure on the government's finances. So what's the topic sentence? Is it A, reducing the financial stress on government, or is it B, about extending working life? What do you think is the main topic when you look at this sentence? Is it A or B? Let me know, go to the chat box and choose one. Is it A or B is the main point in this topic sentence? Oh, wow, got quite a few responses. Excellent, looks like everybody is on the same page. Well done, guys, that's fantastic. I'm glad you all chosen. Lyria, not quite. It does mention working life, but you see there's the word if. The monetary burden on the state would be eased. Then we have if people have a longer career span. But the main idea is here, reducing the burden. So it's not the second one, it's the first one. Okay. Let's have a look at concession and extension of the main idea. So here's one sentence, but it's in two parts. There's the orange part and the blue part. Even though employees make financial contributions throughout their lives with taxes, they have earned their pensions. The pension is the payment you get when you retire from the government. It's insufficient to cover the period of retirement, given that it's become so much longer now. Yeah, because people are living longer. In Australia, the average life, I think, for women is about 85 or 86. And the average life for men now is like 81 or 82 in Australia. So if you retire at 60, now because we're living longer, whoa, it's 20, 25 years. So my question is, which one is the concession? Is it the first half in orange or the second half in blue? Which one's the concession? Orange or blue? What do you think? The concession is first or second? Let me know. Go to the chat box. Just say orange or blue. What do you think? And if you're half sure, let me know. What do you think? The concession is, remember, something you accept that's opposite to what you think. And we have, or not quite, I think majority has gone with orange, and I think the majority is right there. The concession happens first. How do we know it's a concession? There is a contrasting word, even though. Remember, even though, although, however, that kind of thing. So not quite, Claudia. The concession is always better first, and then your main point is after. The extension of the main idea is here. And you know it's an extension of the main idea because there's a comparative form there. Quite often when it comes to extending your idea, especially after a concession, you'll see comparative language. As I said before, it's true that Sydney is a good place to work because there are a lot of opportunities, but Brisbane is a better place to work. It's a more friendly and more comfortable working environment. Better, more friendly, more comfortable. So you can see there that after the concession, you've got that. Also, you'll have a consequence. Without this extra personal income, it would force the government to raise taxes to cover this added cost. Yeah, it'd be nice to retire early at 60 and have a pension for 30 years, but the government's going to have to increase the taxes to do this. There's one word in this sentence, just one, that indicates it's a consequence. What do you think is the word? Is it the word without, would, added? What do you think? Which is the word? There's the one word that shows it's a consequence. Does anybody know? If you have some idea, let me know. One word that marks is a marker. Oh, a lot of people are choosing would. I have to tell you, it's not the word would. Liliana, not the word force. Alejandra, excellent. Well done. We have one person got it. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Alejandra. And Khan, thank you. Yeah, it's without this. Without is like saying, if not, yes, then it would force them. But that's the key. Without, if, otherwise, when you see words like this, it shows what potentially could happen. Would is the second part of that. And then you've got the example, and these are very easily marked. For instance, for example, this can be seen in, and this is more towards the end. So the paragraph would look something like this. You have maybe a topic sentence, maybe the concession early on, the extension and justification, then a consequence, then maybe example. And then remember I said that loop or that summary. This is why early retirement for the workforce should not be encouraged. This is not what you'd expect in every paragraph, but when you're reading an article, it's good to have a look at things like this. And then you need to remove the language that's not necessary. So remember, a summary, or the main point, is going to be much less than all this language. So look at the topic sentence. Let's think about summarizing the main ideas. We don't need that whole sentence. The first reason to oppose this argument is we don't need that. But monetary burden we do, don't we? The state eased. So we're looking at things like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Monetary burden. So remove the language that's not needed. And look here with the concession. Remember, the concession is on the opposite side. So you don't really need to include the concession in the main point. That's not the argument of the writer. The word taxes is important, so maybe we'll keep that because in the justification and the extension, we do mention taxes. The taxes are insufficient, so people would have to work longer. And then look at the consequence. Remove what you don't need, forcing governments to raise taxes. And in the example, do you really need the example? Not really. That's just extra. To prioritize, remove the example. And also then with the loop, with the summary, that's actually kind of handy. Keep that because that's the main point. So sometimes the main point is at the top or at the bottom of the paragraph or after a contrasting word. Okay, so let's just look at the main ideas for what we talked about today. Look for contrasting words, but, however, although, despite, the main idea normally comes after that. Recognize concessions because that's not the main point of the writer. And eliminate the unnecessary language to focus on the details. Eliminate things like the example. Look at the topic sentence. What's the actual theme that you want to use? Okay, so we're going to have a few moments in a few moments' time, we look at some questions. I'm going to answer any questions that you might have. But just before we do that, just briefly, we're just going to talk about our courses here at TAFE Queensland. We've got English for academic purposes. It's one of our courses. The great thing is if you have an approximate entry level of IELTS 5.0 and you pass the course, you can exit at an IELTS 5.5 and go directly into a 5.5 diploma. It's great. And we look at academic skills, but we look at academic skills that are expected in an English-speaking environment and especially in Australia. So it's very handy. Plus, at the same time, it's done in English. So you improve your English at the same time. So you kind of like you're improving two things there. Jonas, was there anything else you wanted to add about the courses in general?
Sure, absolutely. Just one moment. So regarding our price for any of our general English levels or academic courses, the price is 220 Australian dollars per week. And there's also a material fee of $110 each 12-week block, sorry. And we have no enrollment fee at the moment, okay? So as for the link where you can register for future classes, I will drop it in the chat box for you shortly. In this link, you can see we have one more left in our EAP series. So next week, we will focus on listening, identifying, and opinion. After this, we have a new series coming that will focus on the FCE and CAE Cambridge examinations. So we offer English courses and vocational programs in different fields. Please feel free to contact us. We have staff who have different nationalities to support our students around the world, and we might be able to assist you in your own language. So back to you for the questions and answers.
Thank you, Jonas. Okay, guys, so here's a chance for you to ask me something. You can ask me about our presentation today, or I don't mind if you have other questions, maybe about English or even studying in Australia or anything else you want to know. So just go to the chat box and type your question. I'll be very, 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 very happy to answer it for you. So anything you can on your mind, doesn't matter, it can be something broad or general. Something about English, IELTS, academic English, Australia, TAFE, Queensland, Brisbane. Okay, seems like we don't have any questions for today. Well, that's lovely. Well, okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, oh, we do have a quick question there. How is life in Brisbane? Chris, thank you. Actually, Chris, Brisbane has a very, very good lifestyle. It's semi-tropical, so it's quite, it's a warm climate. It's a very comfortable climate. It can get a bit humid in the summer, but in winter here, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just fantastic. It's a small city, so of about 2 million people. So it's big that it's got everything, but not too big that it's inconvenient. Very relaxed and a relaxed lifestyle here, and becoming more international and multicultural. So yeah, it's kind of a nice one. Aura, how does Perth compare with Brisbane? Well, Perth is a beautiful city too. It's got more of a 4-season climate. It can get a bit hot in summer. And the difference is Perth, the southern cities like Perth, Melbourne and Adelaide are designed on a grid, like north, south, east, west. They're very easy to navigate. The only thing about Perth is it's very far away and it's very isolated because between Perth and Adelaide, there's nothing. There's just desert and a few small, very, very small sheep towns or mining towns. So it's a lovely place, but it's just very far from everything. On the eastern coast of Australia, it's a lot closer to many things. Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, quite close and easily accessible. Even Brisbane, flying from Brisbane to New Zealand is shorter than flying from Brisbane to Perth. I think it's more like 5 hours to Perth, but only like 2.5 hours to New Zealand. Brisbane's also closer to a lot of the Asian countries. Adelaide is another possibility. Yes, Lewis, that's Adelaide's a lovely city. It's kept some of its older architecture from the 1800s, and yeah, it's easy to navigate. It can get a bit hot in summer, but it's nice. There's one question there, Jonas. Do I need a migration agent to study at TAFE? That's a question there from Carolina.
All right. Maybe we can discuss this a little further. I can write down my email, but generally speaking, it doesn't have to be a migration agent. It can be just an agent that works with international providers, and maybe you can tell me where, depends on the country you are from. We have, you can have a look at TAFE Queensland website. We have all the registered agents over there, so you can have a look if there's any agent from your country or somewhere close to where you live, and you can go ahead and contact them. Okay, I will write down my email here, so anyone can send me an email with any inquiries. Okay, thank you.
Plasneda, in terms of the cost for the beginners course, it's the same. All the courses per week is the same fee. Scholarship application as well, Jonas.
Sorry, excuse me, Rocco.
Yes.
Let me just add one information that from May, we will start with the English for beginners, free lessons as well. So maybe for the beginners, it can be interesting for you guys to join. Okay, so it will start in May 13th. So keep an eye on our website and on your email inbox that you will receive the information about it.
Also questions about scholarship applications, Jonas.
Yeah, so scholarships at the moment, to be honest, we don't have scholarships. The only one that is available, it would be Destination Australia, but this one is from the government. So maybe you can have a look at the EME website. So just write down Destination Australia in Google and just have a further look and see what you think. At the moment, we are focusing on the onshore students because of all the pandemic issues, but we definitely are able to talk about and discuss about it. We don't have many spots left. I think we only have 4 spots left and in specific courses. So anyone who needs more information about it, please let me know. I'll write down my email right now. Okay.
Alejandro has asked, in academic IELTS, how many lectures are academic, how many are general? So Alejandro, what we do in the IELTS preparation class, at the moment, all my students are taking the academic test, so everything. So whenever we have a student who does the IELTS general, they do everything the same. Now, remember that in the reading, the IELTS general reading, the questions are the same, but they practice with academic articles. And they find that whenever they go then to take the general reading test, it's so much easier for them because they've been practicing on academic articles. Same question types. The only time that we do something different, if we have an IELTS general student, is if we're doing task 1. But then I just separate the class into those doing the graphs and those doing the letter. Is it very expensive to study medicine? I don't know. You'll find that usually medical courses are a lot longer. So there might be, rather than a 3-year degree, it might be a 4-year or 5-year degree. Medicine is a lot longer. So there's that added cost. Okay, I think that's pretty much covered everything that I could see. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. So thank you very much for your time. Good. So thanks very much for your time and your participation. I hope you picked up some great tips from today and hope to see you around maybe next week too. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thanks everyone for joining. So I'm finishing the session now. I'll end the meeting, okay? So hope to see you all next week. See ya, bye-bye.